It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity, and it is your grand reveal in Santee. This was a 4-day project with the help of my amazingly talented crew. We knocked it out well, not effortlessly, but seamlessly, right?
We finished rocking by 11.
Yeah, we were done rocking before lunch. It took, was it about 3 yards? 3 yards of 3/8 inch Cali gold.
1 yard of
We used 1 yard of the 3/4, the larger rock for up top. I really am enjoying the contrast. Our, as I've been talking about all week, I just brush stroked with the burgundy 3/4. Our client loves the burgundy, but I didn't want to top dress with it too heavily because it does absorb heat, being a darker colored rock. And this is Santee, which is in the East County of San Diego. He gets some really lovely breezes up here, which is great, but it's still going to get pretty darn hot in the summertime. So,
Thank you, guys.
as always, with my installations, the idea is that the client's not going to have to do much of anything in between my visits, short of putting a little water on the pot that we installed, and then just doing some little fun, sprinkling to keep the rocks clean and dust and detritus off the leaves of the plants. But mostly, it's just going to be an enjoyment fest. He is so excited about this that he has gone ahead and commissioned phase 2. And because we finished up so early with this, we went ahead and demoed all the crap that was in here. Greg discovered some serious problems too. There's a crepe myrtle in here that the roots had done a number on the irrigation piping right at the super highway, the vortex of connectors of his hard line that feeds his entire yard. So this turned out to be a pretty big job, and I'm so glad that we had the time to do the demo today so that Greg could deal with this and we didn't come upon it and get surprised when we come back to do this installation, because I've estimated this to take just a couple of days. And it's going to be reminiscent, obviously, of this. I think, you know what, I had this idea. I just love this pot that I got at Waterwise. And so we'll have our 3 garden beds, which is perfect. So I'm going to pull the companion pot. There's a smaller one of that. I'm going to pull it in over here. And then I'm going to bring another one in for this bed. So we'll have our 1, 2, 3 pot elements. We'll be doing a special French drain here to accommodate runoff from his gutters into this drain here. I'll make it really pretty. Doesn't have to be ugly. So we're going to make that really cute. Yeah, so super excited. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to knock this out before we head up to the ranch. And tomorrow we're going up to Calabasas to do the first maintenance at the installation that we did there a year ago. And then on Tuesday we break ground on a huge 2-week project in Encinitas. So stay tuned, people. And Hannah says, point out some of the plants. Okay, I'm sorry, it's hot. I'm so tired. But this is a Bacarnia recurvata. This is was purchased as a 15-gallon specimen plant. Omar actually brought that aloe ferox from his personal collection, and that would be the equivalent of a solid 15-gallon specimen too. We have beautiful 10-gallon Mangave Mission to Mars and an aloe tongaensis that I bought in a 24-inch box.
Let's look at this mission.
Okay, yeah, the Mission.
What's its potential?
The potential is to about double to triple in size, probably more like triple. So that's exciting. Normally I can only find those in small little, like 3-gallon cans. And knowing their potential to get so big, it's exciting to find one bigger. And I got that at Waterwise Botanicals, and there were more.
Wait, I have something. I got 4, 12. 1 gallon. What's 12 times 6? 72. It's 72 1-gallon plants. We use.
72 1-gallon plants. Thank you, Hannah. I had no idea where she was going with that, but for the tapestries. And we did 2 nice sized tapestries running through both of these beds. And these plants were purchased at Oasis Water Efficient Gardens. We also pulled in like some millii, you know, a couple 5-gallon millii. Sometimes we'll take larger plants to kind of anchor the design. Remember to cut the heads off your aloe cameronii before you plant them. This beauty's going to turn bright red in a matter of days. Back to the plant IDs. This little Yucca rostrata was in a 15-gallon can. And I got a couple of 15-gallon Crassula ovata variegates, the yellow jades. They're just so beautiful and already have so much weight. I'm starting to do that more and more, you know, using bigger and bigger plants. This gorgeous Dracaena Draco was in a 36-inch box. I got that from Waterwise Botanicals. So take special note of the weight. The objects in here, besides the boulders, which was 5 ton less 2 rocks, which we staged out front because, you know, we didn't need them. But note the Pilosoceras azuris, the tall columnar cactus, right? And the aloe plicatilus, which I got from Caesar at Sun Valley. There's some significant sized plants. Then some more significantly sized plants, and then the 1-gallon little tapestry plants. So you know, those of you that have followed for a while, how this is just going to get better and better as time passes. So be sure and stay tuned.
Wait, one last thing. At this point, I know we talked about it once, but the stick's on fire.
Yes, Hannah said let's just one more time make note of the sticks. These were actually cuttings from some plants that he had out in the front yard that had gotten very stemmy, very trunky, very ugly. So we cut off the pretty tops and set them in the ground like candles on a cake. And then the agave attenuatas, same thing. Cut those out of his front yard and staged them. So all of the plant material here are cuttings.
Okay. And what I wanted to say though is when you don't cut the tops off and reset, what you're going to get is what's behind this one.
Yeah, Hannah says when you don't cut the tops off and reset and you just hack them, like the gardeners have just been hacking across the tops. Look at how unsightly that is. And see how the trunks will just continue to get thicker and thicker, and there will be less plant material, less branching on the trunks. This is just so much more beautiful. I don't know how anyone could possibly disagree.
And
so
continuously every year during
yeah, and
weekends.
then about every 3 years, this is a cutting, and every 2 to 3 years, we'll take it, you know, we'll dig it out, cut and reset it again as it starts to reroot. Because we really aren't interested in these getting that much bigger. And we don't want this to happen again, because this has the potential to get as big as an SUV. I mean, these things can get 20 or 30 feet tall if you let them, and we don't want that. So we just keep on top of it. This Tongaensis, next walkabout Wednesday, pay attention to the one in my garden. When I got the one in my garden, it was about this size, and after just 3 years, it's 5 times this size. So this is going to be really, really exciting. Also, check out the driftwood purchased at Waterwise Botanicals. Love me some driftwood.
And we stood that one up.
Yeah, that was featured as Waterwise as laying down, but we really love the idea of standing it up. And I can say the same thing about your boulders too. You know, you don't necessarily have to lay them flat. Sometimes they look really cool stood on their butts, right? So bottom to top instead of side to side. Yeah, and that one has a face. Yeah, so just be creative, think outside the box, but most importantly, trust your instincts and have fun. This has been Laura reporting from Santee with your grand reveal on a 4-day install. Peace out.